Andy fortunate enough to take charge of a match between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry. Not many have got that to their name. And now we can add Mark Gray and Imran Majid to that list. Good chance this then for Imran. Yes, nice and solid. I'm sure that'll be 2-0. Good start, but there's a long way to go. So our ref Andy as well as not a bad player in his own right, plays a bit of 9-ball himself, and not just a good snooker referee, he's a tidy player, high break of 94 I believe. Mark Gray of course, he's got a few 147s to his name, terrific snooker player as well as pool player. And Imran's not a bad snooker player either. That's a scratch, so surely Mark is expecting it to go 3-0 to Imran. So just a little stunt shot, very well played. Yep, good start from Imran. Not much Mark could do really, scratching on his break. Had a chance in the first frame, made a bit of a mess of that very tricky 4-ball, and he's been made to pay. But, like I say, there's a long way to go. So the players and the referee have agreed that although the referee will rack the balls, the players are allowed to just press the balls together if they don't feel things are touching. And we're okay with that because it's tapped table here, so there's no way there's going to be any funny business going on with them twisting racks or anything like that. There's no question of that happening. It's just a question of the players just making sure they're happy that the rack is tight, and that's why we allow them to touch the rack. Obviously they don't get the opportunity to choose which balls go in which position. That's completely random, chosen by the ref. So, some of you eagle-eyed people may have noticed it did say race to 9 on the scoreboard at the bottom. That was a mistake. It is, of course, race to 11. GB9 final is always a race to 11. The other rounds are race to 9, but the final is a race to 11. So, apologies for showing the incorrect information there. Meanwhile, that's a mistake from Imran. It's definitely not going to pot unless he can catch it cushion first. But it's tough, that shot cushion first. If you see there, the 7 ball is possibly an inch away from the rail, which means he's got to be very precise. He's going to nick it in. Left hand side. Right hand side, sorry. Yeah, good shot. Played it well. Needs the white to slow down. Oh, terrific shot. Runaway start from Imran. Mark desperately needs something to happen. So he's got the 2 balls. He's got the wing ball and the 1 ball. He's got a ball over the head string, so that's his 3 points, and he's got a shot on the 2, most importantly. Well, has he got a shot on the 2? It's past the pocket. But yes, I'm sure he can clip this in because the cue ball is well up the table. The problem is he's got to be careful to just make sure he can hold this for the 3. He can't slow roll it because I'm sure it would be enough. He's putting a right hand side on this cue ball, and he's hit that 2 into the far side of the pocket to avoid the scratch in the corner. And the right hand side has stopped the cue ball from running away with him and going too far. So clever shot, knowledge. And he certainly shouldn't have been anywhere near hitting that 6 ball. But he's got away with it. Could easily have got a half ball kiss and become behind it. But now he's looking perfect. Stop shot. So you see there, he's pulled the white across the table to the right because he wanted to make sure he had a big angle on this so he can float this ball in and get across for the black without any effort at all, completely effortless. Now the amateur players, a lot of them would have left themselves just slightly too straight on that 7 ball and found themselves having to drill it in the corner to get across for the 8. So there's been a real good lesson from Imran there in 1 or 2 shots why these guys are so good at taking the balls out. It's all about precision, cue ball control, absolute precision every shot. demonstrated perfectly there. Let's just have a quick look at the scores. Got the one, got the wing ball, and just when he needed an easy rack, 6-0 down. Look what he leaves himself. Now Mark, I'll tell you, if I wanted any player on the tour to pot a ball like this, it would be Mark. But he has been frozen out somewhat. Look at that, straight in. Referee very close there, making sure there's no infringements. I thought he'd just run out of position there, but it's fine. Just take the cue ball off to the other side, put the 9 in the opposite pocket. There we go, Mark's got a rack on the board. He's avoided the donut. Well, I have to say, I think I'd show my bum in Burton's windows if Mark ever got beaten to zip. 6-1 then. And that was a break and run from Mark, from a decent break, but he did leave that cue ball right under the rail, and then he needed all of his excellent straight cueing that he's so well known for. One good shot on the 2 and the rack was over. So again, Imran just pressing the balls together. Another thing I'd say as well, fairness to the referees, because I've done this myself, it's much harder to get the balls touching perfectly when you're wearing gloves, because obviously they're slippy slidey, and you know, your bare hands do grip the balls better. And you know, I've played 9-ball a long time, and I'm really good at racking the balls with my bare hands, but it's tough getting them touching with gloves, and obviously you can't be taking your gloves on and off and on and off all the time. So that's why sometimes, well, quite often actually, players complain, maybe a strong word, but complain that the referees aren't good at getting the balls tight. So Mark's called a push out. Always tough to push out for the top class professionals, because they know they've gone massive second favourite, giving their opponent a choice. And in this case, I think Mark has left Imran a great chance to get that white, to slide past the 3 and the 5. He could have Mark in a bit of trouble here. Well, I think he's hit that. I don't think he hit that how he wanted, because he could well have just crashed into the 8 and 9. I think he hit that too thick, but he's all right. might have been a nice little flick off the side of the 7 ball, and indeed it was. And this is, well, I think he can go one rail around the side of the, in between the 3 and the 5. Oh, can you see it? Thin edge. I think he's going to find himself in more trouble now. That cue ball is going to be welded to the back of the 6th ball. Well, he hasn't done, and I thought he might. I'm sure he could have made this more difficult for Mark, which would have pretty much guaranteed him the frame. If he got it really, really tight. But he's left Mark a jump shot. And he's not shabby at jump shots either, isn't Mr. Gray? That's a good view of it from there. Oh dear. Commentator's curse has come in. My word, check your tip, Mark. There isn't a tough ball on, well, I was going to say there's not a tough ball on the table, but there is, isn't there? 2 to 3 is the key to this rack. Now what about the 3 inside? Can he drift past the 6 through that gap between the 6 and the 4 and pot it in the side? That's one option. You can see there. Another option is to just let the cue ball drift down towards the 6. Might bump into it. I think he's just pointed to where he wants to go. It's the first shot I mentioned. I think he's going to slide down through that gap. Yep. But I don't think I fancy that in the side. I think he's going to have to go top bag for this. He could just drop it in the side, but it's a harder shot, so he'll go in the corner. Because he can stroke it. Just off the knuckle, just off the knuckle. Oh, he's got to be careful here not to clip the side of that 8. There's plenty of room. Plenty of room. Imran has won this trophy twice before, I believe. I think Mark has as well. 7-1, big lead. So, illegal break called by Andy Yates. Only 2 points made. And you have to say, you'd expect it to be 8-1 from here. What sort of an angle has he got? Doesn't want to be straight, he's got just enough. I think he can roll this round off 2 cushions to put the 5 in the same pocket. Yeah, well played. He's just going straight up and down now for the 6. And it's looking like a straightforward 8-1. Probably just pull the cue ball clear of the 9 to leave a little angle. Stroke the 8 in. He won't leave it straight, he'll just pull it back a couple of inches so he's got nice cue in. Well, there's what I know. He's tried to get closer to the 8, which I'm surprised about because he's such a good potter, he probably didn't need to do that. But he's feeling confident because everything's going right. I don't think anybody would have predicted this. Majid, 8-1 up. 3 more needed. Well, a chance for Mark. Mark's a really laid back guy. He'll just be thinking, I'm not so sure he'll be worried too much. He'll just be thinking, well, this is the way it goes, what will be, will be. And I'll just let his arm go and see what happens. Having said that, if he gets back to something like 8-5, then it's a different matter. He really needs to win 4 or 5 of the next 6, I think. And he's got a chance. Well, needs to slow down. And it has. If this was a winner breaks format, I think Mark would. Well, I say in theory it would be better for Mark. The only trouble is Mark's not got a great break. Just top this through and come back up to somewhere where the 6 ball was before he played the shot. Just checking the rack. I hasn't had much luck on the break so far. Will it change here? No scratches, please. Yeah, that's a good break. He's really held the cue ball well. A perfect example of a cut break. So he's hitting them almost full on the nose, but just slightly to the right as he looks. Taking the cue ball onto that third diamond up, just above where the 2 is now, and then back into the middle of the table, which is exactly what he did. But he didn't mean to catch the bump there. He meant to get the cue ball back across. He's got a bank shot. It's a must get. Yeah, good shot. And he's perfect on the 6. Free stroking now, Mark. Nothing to lose. Which is fine. No pressure on either player at the moment. But Mark keeps doing that. 2 or 3 more of those, and all of a sudden you've got a different match. Mark believes he can win, and then Imran is under pressure. Dry break. And I think, well, I'm sure that he can just chip that 1 ball down there. He's guaranteed to be on the 1 here. 1 will be over the pocket. Cue ball will be on the other side of the table. Very nice. Just need to bump the cue ball up past the 6. Perfect. And he's getting faster and faster. Yeah, that's a sweet little shot he's played there. No. He's not got too much angle on it, has he? He'd like to go just 1 or 2 rails. He doesn't want to be going across. Yeah, he's cued it really lovely. Wants to bounce. Wants to bounce. Well, he might be taking that 9 ball in the middle. Yeah, played it well. Eight 4. We've got a game on. this is cuttable, but cue ball under the rail. Oh, he's gone for the bank. Good shot. Now he's well set up to make this 8-5. Just want to check that that 6 ball will pass the 9. I'm sure it does. Let's have a look. Yeah, no problem. So it's all about making sure he gets a good angle here. And look how Mark has got that cue ball. Absolutely perfect. They do make the game look easy sometimes, the top pros, but that's because the cue ball is everything. Well, we do have a game on now. It's a cracking display of how 9 ball should be played. Watching these two, they're absolutely brilliant when they get going. Jim, as we like to call him, to break. Jim Ran. So he's got the points and he's not got on the 1. See how things change. Now he's going to have to push out. So Imran in a bit of trouble here, and he'll be thinking about whether he plays a deliberate foul, because it's so tough to hit the 1. Referee Andy Yates is going to be watching this one very closely. Can he just get through there? I didn't think he could get to that rail. If he can get to that rail, he's a chance. But I'm not sure he can see enough of that rail. Doesn't look like it, does it? And if he's kind of 70-30 against hitting it, he'll be looking at a deliberate foul to see if he can save the rack. But the only problem with that is, where that one ball is, Mark's going to have him in even more trouble the next shot. So that's not going to work. So he's in a lot of trouble here. Now what Imran's trying to do, I did say if he could see more of that side rail, this rail, then he'd hit the one. He can't see it, but he's going to jump it and he's going to play off two rails, which is a clever tactic. Or is he going to swerve it and jump it? I think he is. Yep. Brilliant shot. Jump. And he's made a ball. Terrific shot. Absolutely terrific shot. Very, very clever. Well, that won't go. But he's got himself out of a big hole there, Imran. And he's got control of the table and a chance of a good safety. There's a wall of balls there. And has he found the gap, or has he got behind the 8? He's found the gap. Wow. Yeah, Mark made good use of that 5 ball there. The side-to-side shot. Played it well. Turned into a cracking final, this. Dynamite Darren Appleton has joined to watch this. Good to have you watching, mate. So Imran looking at where he's obviously playing this off 2 rails. He's going to kick the one up table. He doesn't really want to kick the one towards the corner pocket. He might get a snooker with the cue ball behind those balls, but to be sure, he'd like that one ball in the middle of the back cushion. What's that object ball safe for insurance? Well, I'm not sure that's what he played, but well, it's pretty good. Probably see Mark just pull the cue ball back towards his pocket behind 3. Yep. He's, closer to the pocket would have been better. So it's a topsy-turvy frame, this one. And now Imran is definitely in control. Don't think I'd fancy jumping that. Good shot from Imran. Mark needs to trust to luck here. I think he's just going to have to hope he pushes this one ball onto a rail. Safe. Yeah, he's had to try to hit it hard. It was hit and hope, I'm afraid, that one. I don't see any problems for Imran from here. He's going to play the 3-9 combo. That's what he's looking at. You see that? It's an absolute sitter. Put the cue right on that cushion. You can't miss. Well spotted. That should be 9-5. So he stopped the rot. 4 frames on the spin. Mark had won to get it back into this match. I did say Mark needed to win 4 or 5 of the next 6. And since that point, he's won 4 of the last 5. I think Mark's already got himself back into the match, but Imran just 2 away now. With 2 away, you always feel that you've got a chance when your opponent's 2 away. Mark really will be looking to win the next 3. Which means winning his 2 breaks and winning Imran's gets him to 9-8, and then he'll feel he's got a chance. Just watch Mark's break again. Look at that 3rd diamond on the left. That's where he wants the cue ball. And then back out to the middle of the table. And he's got the 1. But he's not got the wing ball. So it's illegal. Turn passes back to Imran. Can he make the 2? I don't think so. But if he can hit it full in the face, he will take this on, because it's a reasonably straightforward safety. He might be able to put it. No, it's a full in the face. And it's exactly what I said. It's a good safety. So Mark's going to try and hit this off 3 rails. So he's going to go side rail, top rail, and then the side rail so he can come into the back of the 2 ball and push it up table. Well, that's what I would be doing. And then leave the cue ball there. He's gone 1 rail, and I don't understand that shot, but it's worked out for him, unless Imran makes this bank. Oh, we've got Darren Appleton on the stream. I'm sure he'll say in the comments. What do you think, Darren? Should that have been a 3 railer? Up the backside of the 2. So a bank shot from Imran. Straight in. He's good at those. Just needs to hit this nice and thin and avoid dead traffic. Think he does. Agrees it should have been a 3 railer. Mark didn't get away with the 1 railer, so he wants to hit this nice and thin. He's going to be guaranteed a 4 in the corner or middle, but he's hit it a little bit too hard and it doesn't go. Probably expected to get that 4 in the middle. He really didn't want to pass control of the table back to Mark. So if he's going to play safe, he's going to try and get the cue ball very, very tight. There is an option of a combination, but it's not a good option because, okay, he can pot the 6, but the 4 ball would be moving away from the cue ball, so there's no value in that. He's going to play a good safety here. And he needs to think about it, because he needs a really good cue ball. he's going to get the cue ball right in behind the 9. But then he's got to make sure he hits a rail. And if he's pushing the 4 into the 6, he's got to make absolutely certain he doesn't pot the 6. Oh, that's another good option. Flick off the side of the 4. Oh, I don't know if it's a good option. He's thinking flick off the side of the 4, put the 4 behind the 9. No, that's a bit risky, really. It's a tough one. Yeah, it's not bad. It wasn't about just getting the snooker there, it was about making sure it's good enough to keep control of the table. If Mark can see an edge, he can. He's never gone for the cut in the corner. That's crazy. That's... I'm not quite sure about the shot choice there. But it's pretty straight. Does the 5 pass? In other words, can he screw it back? Put the cue ball where it is now? That'd be some shot. Looks like that's what he's trying. Nope. He's taking his medicine. He knew he was odds against getting on that 5, so there's no point pushing the bout out. You take your medicine and you can win the frame, not just by potting balls. Playing a good safety here, so he's going to use that 7 ball on the top rail to stop behind the 6, off the side, into the back of the 6, and he got too much into it. And he's left a chance. He got too much bottom on that. And I think this might be too far. No, it's slowed up. It's pretty good. Needs a delicate little touch now. I think he can put them both in the same bag. And it's one of those shots that's a little bit easier with a snooker cue. Cue ball on the blue spot, centre of the table. It's going to be 9-6. Well, that was Imran's to win that frame. Could have got on the hill. 9-6. Mark's still got in. He's still in with a shout. Well, the chat is like a who's who of my old mates. Darren Appleton, Simon DeValley, Simon Widlow and Andy Warden. It almost sounds like a good night out. I'll be very happy with that. Absolutely plumb on the 2. Got 1 in the side. Once you put that one in the side, there's no real guarantees on what you're going to land on. Especially when you lose the white a little bit like you did, so a little bit fortunate there. And that's a good effort. That's a very good shot. And what does he do with the 4 ball? There's a bit of the 8 sticking out there. You'd love to be able to kiss into that, but when you look at where the cue ball contacts the 3, and if you take a line from there to the 8, there's actually not as much of it sticking out as you think. There's only like a millimetre. It looks like there's about an inch, but there isn't. So I'll need a plan B. Hello Ziggy Riley, it's good to have you with us. John Chapman, sorry you can't be here, mate. I'm not sure what he meant. If the 4 passes the 9, he may just be putting the cue ball into an area where he can chip the 4 in. If that's not on, I think I'd probably just blast through those balls. Blast through those balls and see what happens, which is what he's done. Yeah, that's what I would have done. He needed a little bit of luck, but it was all he really had. It would have worked if it had been a bit softer. Sneak a little look at the 9 into the middle. A good chance for Mark. Now I'll be looking to see if that 5 passes into the 6, sorry the 7, and I'm not sure it does. So that's the shot he's got on. Oh, maybe it does pass. That's not ideal. Is he going for the bank? Oh, what a shot. What a shot. A little bit lucky to avoid the scratch, but it's a terrific pot. At that pace as well. Nice little bit of check side. So it's been a good match this, an 8-1 lead for Imran. It's been reduced, so a 7-frame lead has been reduced to 2. And this adds pressure to Imran, there's no question that it adds pressure now. If we go back to a couple of frames ago where Imran had that, had no shot on the 4 ball, had to find a safety, took a long time to try and find a safety that was going to win him the rack. He didn't find it. Mark had a lash and got away with it. He's missed the wing ball and the one ball. He needs a look. Can Imran bend it round there? Is it just a little dink? Because if it is, he'd probably go towards the 2. Well, he'd actually go towards the 8, but that's what he's trying. Gentle swerve. Yep, that was the problem. He's going to go towards the 8 and he's gone behind the 8. And that's obviously because he was putting so much side on it that he was always going to take the cue ball that way. So this is a big shot. This jump shot is almost 10-7 or 9-8 right here. He's not happy. Make sure he's absolutely perfectly aligned, then raise his body, keeping it all straight. Straight back and through, smooth. Now he needs some luck. It's all about what happens here. Well, I've seen Mark clip these in, and he's going around to have a little look. Is he going for it? I think he is. Yes. It's there. And he's nicely on the 3. Needs to travel. Oh, that's a bad shot, Mark. I thought he would play that 3 a little bit thinner, just to push it into the far side of the pocket, so the cue ball would travel more quickly. This is missable. Oh, that's a great shot. As the plug come out, Martin. So, 9-8, and now we've got a real game on from 8-1. Mark Gray has won 7 of the last 8 frames. What a great final. Andy Yates trying to get the balls nice and tight. Imran will check them and just give them a little nudge and a little squeeze, which we've allowed them to do. That's all good. Look for that 3 ball in the corner. Oh, it got kicked. He got the 1 though, which means he needs a bit of luck because you never know where the 2's going. And if it wasn't for the 4, he'd got a bit of luck because and he'd also got a really good cue ball there, so he gave himself every chance. Did everything right really there, Imran. Just unlucky. The 4 ball roll in there. Now I don't think there's enough room around that side. I think he'd have to put a lot of side on to be able to flick that in. He's not playing this, he's looking at the moment. Oh, he is playing it. He thinks he can get round, flick the 2 in. Yep, he could. What a great shot. Perhaps just the camera angle, it looked like there wasn't enough room. That's not a nice shot though, into the side. He can just drop it in, but they're still missable. I would expect him to get this though, but they are missable. You've got to aim for the far knuckle, not the near one. Any contact on the near one, and you've now out of prayer. Yeah, good shot. Really important now in this match, I think, that Imran takes these out. Absolutely vital. And I'm sure he knows it. That's why he's taking his time. And this shot right here, probably the key shot in the rack. There's just a little bit of traffic left and right. He's played that very well. Yep, good shot. Well, that's not ideal. Can he pot it without scratching in the side? No. I think Mark Gray has just gone favourite for this match. Bold statement maybe, but don't forget that Mark breaks in the next rack. And the pressure is all gone onto Imran now because of the big comeback. And I did say, I think it was massive that Imran took those balls out. Imran looks a little nervous, and obviously Mark rarely does. He just gets down and hits them. 9-all. Well, I'll say Mark has gone favourite in my opinion. Obviously the break is a massive part of that. He did have a scratch in frame 3, I think it was. He needs to keep that cue ball on the table, in the middle of the table. So regardless of whether he's got a shot He keeps control of the table. It's all up to him now. Good evening, Matt Potter. Good to have you with us. This has become a best of 3. He's got the wing ball, and the black needs to go over the line, which it has, and he's got a shot on the 1. And this is another shot where Mark's snooker cue comes in handy. He'll take this off 2 rails, but it's a real nice shot to play with a snooker cue, this. And Mark plays it very, very well. Commentator's curse. Wow. Now obviously if Imran is snookered, he'll still pot the 1. But if he is snookered, you still expect him to pot the 1 and get on the 2. But it does add a little bit more complexity to the position. He'll be going round off 2 rails. Rail first and then 2 rails, but he's got to avoid the 3 and the 4. And he has, and he's played it very well. And this is a massive, massive let off. And all that work that Mark's done, he will now fear, has been thrown away with 1 shot. And it's a shot that Mark's really good at. Don't know what Imran's doing there. Oh, he was reaching over for his extension. Thanks very much, Nick Hampton. Thanks for joining and watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I have to say, it's been a cracking final. I've really enjoyed watching this. One bad shot from Mark, and Imran has gone favourite again. Both players hold this trophy in high esteem, the Paul Medati trophy. Both were good friends of Paul, particularly with Mark's snooker background. Mark was was a good friend of Paul, very respectful of Paul's achievements on the snooker table. We all remember Paul Medati with much fondness. He was taken from us too early. And everything about that has meant that this trophy has really set itself out there as the most prestigious GB9 trophy to win. And Imran is now favourite to take it for what I believe will be a 3rd time in the history of this tournament. GB9 World Tour started in 2008, but of course the Paul Medati Trophy started in 2009. Paul played on the tour in 2008. Tragically, didn't finish it. Somebody in the chat saying, who let Virgo into the commentator's box? Now it's funny you should say Virgo, because Paul Medati in this tournament named after was John Virgo's doubles partner. All important break, and he's not got a shot on the one. It's going to be a push. Can you see a feather edge? I'm not sure what use to him it is if he can. Big moments in this match. Where do you push out to? You can see a feather edge. See if he can just swerve it just a tad and make a thicker contact on the one. He can possibly push the one towards the 3 and the 6 and take the cue ball towards the top left corner pocket. Tiniest of swerves. Just a slightly, like, you see what I mean? But he hasn't got this thick enough. So he has left a shot on it, but that's what he was trying to do. A little bit thicker. Of course, the one would have gone towards the 3. The cue ball wouldn't have come out from the rail so much. A big shot for Mark Gray. Big shot. Everybody knows it. Oh, what a shot. But where's he gone? Oh my word. Tremendous shot. That was heart in mouth time. Good evening, Graham Wakefield from Bourne Snooker Club, which is Mark's club, of course. Well, it looks like going hill-hill. What a cracking match this has been. Absolutely cracking match. Well, he's just got a little bit more angle than he wanted, but it's not a problem. He'll just roll once across the table, put the black in the same pocket. Doesn't want to get straight. Doesn't want to get straight. And he's perfect. Beautiful. We've got a 10-10. And I think it needed to be 10-10. What a great match. What a great match. Well, if you guys that are watching on the stream, and there's plenty of you if you've been here right from the start of this match, then you've been treated to some great pool tonight. Two of the UK's very best players. And now it's Mark's break. will just wander down and just make absolutely certain all those balls are touching. Just going to give him a little squeeze. Two's down. He needs the 4 to go past the head string. Oh, it's illegal. It's illegal. And Imran immediately points to the 8 and 9. And that's his focus. Does the 8 ball pot? Does it pot? If not, he'll be looking to just feather those balls when he pots the 3. Which means he needs a good cue ball off this 1 ball. So this is a key shot already, and he doesn't want to go too far, and he doesn't want to go too far, and he has. So maybe the 8 will go. It looks like it might. If it does, Imran Majid has just gone favourite. But that's not the best positional shot he's ever played. He's just going to have to drop this in. Obviously be very mindful of that corner pocket, so he's going to screw it onto the side cushion, leave a longer pot on the 5. And the 6 ball's the one on the top rail. The bottom rail, sorry. So this has got to be cued as well. He's got to avoid. Well, it doesn't matter if he catches the 7. He can still pot the 6 from there. But he'll probably just run through a touch. That's lovely. Now he has a big deep breath. There's a fair few quid resting on this Imran. We'll start to find out whether the 8 ball goes, because if it doesn't, he'll be moving it now. Oh, did he try and move it? Did he try and move the 8? I'm not sure. He was a long way off it, so surely he didn't put it. It looks tight. It looks tight. You know what? I have a feeling he tried to move it there. It looked a little bit jerky and twitchy, that shot. Well, he's not sure. None of us are sure. Does it go? Right at the start of this rack, Imran walked out of his chair and pointed straight at the 8 and 9 as if to say, "You're very lucky there, Mark." Well, referee Andy Yates has got a very good eye. He'll be watching this. Oh my word. It's there inside of the pocket. Well played. What a great match that was. Absolutely brilliant. Real treat. Real treat. Great match. Let's see if we can get a chat with Imran.